Hey there, this is Brian from Leadhounds, and this video is for the marketing team over at Meraki Solar. I also want to give a shout out to Sarah, who said she would send this video over to you guys. Thanks a lot, Sarah. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you guys 3 things that you can start doing today to bring in more customers to your business. Now, you might be asking yourselves, well, why would Brian show us these 3 things for free? Couldn't we just go do them ourselves and take advantage of the extra business? And the answer is yeah, you definitely can do that. But what I've found is that most businesses don't have time or resources to worry about perfecting their website or showing up in Google searches. And if you do, that's great. I encourage you to use what you learn in this video. But if not, and you like what you see, just give me a call or shoot me an email after you watch, and we can talk about next steps. Okay. So I mentioned those 3 strategies, right? But what are we actually talking about here? What's the goal of those strategies? And that's going to center around what's called buyer intent keywords. And that is basically a word or a phrase that someone's going to search for in Google when they want to pay for a service. So in the case of Meraki Solar, I saw a bunch of locations you guys serve. I saw Dallas, Texas was on there. So I decided to use that as an example. You could really do this for any of them. So I went ahead and searched solar panels Dallas in Google, and we can take a look at what comes up. So at the top we have paid ads. Not going to talk about those here. And then we have the map section, which we'll come back to. And finally, you have the organic listing. So the websites that come up without having to pay money to Google. And you can see some of your competitors in here in the Dallas area. We have Sunrun, DFW Solar Electric. But if we scroll down, on this first page at least, right, I don't see Meraki on here anywhere, right? We're down in like the 15th business, and realistically, people just don't scroll that far to find a business that they want to work with. They're going to focus on these top 3. That's going to get all the website traffic. So you might ask yourselves, well, how many people are actually searching for solar panels Dallas? And we can take a look at this tool I use called Ahrefs. It gives me search engine data. And here we can see that keyword, solar panels Dallas. And you can see that 1,100 people are searching for solar panels Dallas every single month. And if you go down this list of related keywords, got another 800, 500 here for this one. This is literally thousands of people searching for the service that you provide. And we could get a similar list for probably every one of the cities you guys work in. So you want to find out, okay, where do we rank for these keywords? Now, if we go over to your website on Ahrefs, I can see you rank for 1,000 keywords already. That's great. And, just from this graph here, it looks like you've been putting some work into your online presence already. So we can talk about that in a minute. But let's take a look at your keywords first. Okay, so we'll just rank by position. And you actually come up in the top spot for a lot of keywords, but let's look at those. So every single one of these in the top spots, top 2, top 3, you can see this whole thing. Every single keyword has Meraki in it. Now, you definitely want that, but the thing is, if somebody's searching Meraki solar panels, they already know about you. That's not a new customer. You've already reached them. And bringing them to your website isn't going to introduce them to your business, right? And if we keep going, now we're in the 10th spot. We're on the 2nd page of Google. Nobody's going to the 2nd page, right? And finally, we get solar panels Pensacola. Right, there's El Paso, and that's another Texas one, right? So these are on the 2nd page, and these are the keywords you want to come up for, and that's not really going to help you. So let's take a look at that. One of those competitors I mentioned, DFW Solar Electric. Let's take a look at their keywords. So look at this. They're coming up in the top spots for all these buyer intent keywords I mentioned. Solar panel Dallas, solar panels Dallas. All these are getting hundreds of searches. And let's see, I mean, it says they're in the 4th spot, but let's look at the search results here. So the 1 and 2 spots are actually the local pack and the FAQ. So they're actually in the 2nd spot. And these top 2 are really going to get most of those clicks from these searches. And look, DFW is coming up in the first couple spots for all of these. So how can you beat them out for that position? And that's going to come back to those 3 strategies I mentioned at the start of the video. So let's talk about those. Now, the first one is going to be the content on your website. And what Google is looking for in terms of content is about 1,500 to 2,000 words that actually contain those keywords that you want to rank for. So we can take a look at merakisolar.com, and it looks really great. This website is actually awesome. But, I don't see too much content. So then let's take a look at one of those competitors, DFW Solar Electric, and we'll scroll to the bottom for them. They got a little bit of content too, but it's still not too much. It's only a couple hundred words. So that's actually a really good thing. That means that just by adding those 1,500 to 2,000 words, we're going to start beating them out. Okay. Let's take a look at the second thing, and that's what's called backlinks. So a backlink is when another website posts a link that goes to your website. And what that does is it tells Google, 1, that you are a credible business, and 2, that you're relevant to whatever is on that linking website. And that's just going to boost up your position in the search results. So like I said before, it looks like you've been putting some resources into backlinks. That's this blue line here. You've added, looks like 85. So that's a great start. And if we look at your competitor, they have 93. So they're only a little bit ahead of you. But what we can do is we can take a look at their backlinks, and we can go through and go to each of these websites and get a backlink. So we can copy everything they're doing. And then on top of that, we can add another 100 backlinks from websites that Leadhounds owns, right? So these websites are designed specifically for backlinking. They give that extra search power. We call it link juice. That's just going to boost your website way past what these guys can get. So one more thing on your backlinks. What we saw from your keywords is that you're only ranking high for your business name. You want to be ranking in the top for those buyer intent keywords, like I said. So one thing that might explain that is, we're looking over here. You see Meraki Solar, got your URL. That's great. You want to have some of that. But if I look down through these, I don't see any anchors that use those keywords. And what the anchor is that's going to be the linked text in the backlink, right? So I don't see anything for those keywords, right? You want to have a good mix of those in there. So like I said, I can tell, you're putting some resources into this, but honestly, it's going towards something that isn't going to help you bring in new business, right? It might show people who already know about you, hey, this company is legit, but you know what? You could just send them a deck of slides, and that's going to do the same thing, right? You don't want your website to just be a PowerPoint. It should be bringing in new customers. Okay, so that's backlinks. One more thing I wanted to talk about with you guys is the Google Map Pack, right? So that's this section here. I'm sure you've seen it a million times. You got the Google Maps image right here. And then you got the 3 featured businesses. So these are going to be super important because actually about 30 to 40% of the clicks from searches like this are going to go to these companies. So how do we get you guys in those top 3 spots? And one thing we can do there is to give you what's called citations. And that's basically like a backlink that goes to your Google Maps listing. So it'd be something like Yelp or Yellow Pages, right? We want to list you on websites like that. And then the other thing we can do is update your Google Maps profile in the ways that Google likes from its top businesses. So that'd be optimizing your images, filling out all the fields that they give you in the way that they want to see. Okay, so those are the 3 things I wanted to talk about. As a reminder, that's the content on your website, 1,500 to 2,000 words of that keyword-rich content. The second thing is going to be those backlinks, right? Getting you those powerful backlinks that are going to use the keywords and shoot you up the rankings even more. And then it's going to be that Google Map Pack, getting you in the top 3 businesses, not just for Dallas, but for all of those locations you serve, to get that extra traffic from those. All right, guys, really hope you learned something from this video. If you like what you saw, feel free to reach out, give me a call or email, and we can talk about next steps. All right, thanks. Have a good one.